Hey everybody, it's Krishan Oberoi, the artistic director of Sacra Profana here in Boston, where I'm finishing up my doctoral work this semester, and I'm super excited to be coming out to San Diego next month to collaborate with my good friend and colleague Juan Carlos Acosta in leading Sacra Profana in this really exciting program of music that we're calling Building Bridges Between Nations. This concert is going to feature the music of British composer Benjamin Britten and Austrian composer Ernst Krenek, who became an American citizen in the 1950s. My interest in Krenek's music goes all the way back to 2006 when I was a grad student at Yale getting my master's. And during that time, Simon Carrington, who's a fantastic British conductor, introduced me to Krenek's Lamentations of Jeremiah, a long polyphonic atonal a cappella choral piece with this really intriguing and cryptic text based on the book of Jeremiah the prophet. And that piece of music just absolutely transfigured, or I should say transfixed me for several years until 2011, when I had the good fortune to meet Gladys Krenek, Krenek's widow, who was living out in Palm Springs, California at that time. And so over the next few years, I developed a relationship and a friendship with Gladys Krenek and got to know more about Krenek, the man, not just the composer. And that even furthered my interest in Krenek's music. So doing this program is something that's really near and dear to my heart, and I'm so excited to have the opportunity to do this program with some amazing singers who can really dig into this very, very challenging choral repertoire. I think a great thing to do to get ready to come to this concert is just look up Ernst Krenek on Wikipedia and read his biography, because he led a fascinating life. His trajectory from being this rising star in 1920s Vienna to suddenly finding himself on the wrong side of the political elite and having to essentially flee the country. His trajectory is really interesting. The way he responded artistically to the social and political upheavals of his time is very interesting. I think will provide a great context for folks to enjoy and appreciate this concert that we're doing. I think this experience is going to give people a lot of things to think about, particularly why a composer writes the way he does. And I'll talk a little bit about this during the concert, but the Lamentations of Jeremiah were inspired by the fall of Austria to the Nazi Party during the 1930s and early 1940s. Krenek was essentially living in America, looking back at his homeland and using the Lamentations of Jeremiah over the fallen city of Jerusalem as a metaphor to talk about how Austria had fallen to the Nazis. And the way he writes this music, it's very true to his own style of being very dense and thorny and very rigorous, but at the same time, there's something incredibly haunting about the sonorities of this piece and the sounds that it evokes. And I think people are going to find it very thought-provoking, very evocative, and really unlike anything that they're likely to hear anywhere else.